So, shalom, shalom. Very interesting kayo ang Parashah today, which is the Vayislach. It is the meeting of Esau and Jacob. So, how does we really apply this in our life concerning these two brothers are meeting to one another? So, this is a very, this life of that both we need to experience that in us, because that is how Elohim work in us, like Yaakov. When we are struggling for spirituality, struggling to obey Elohim, and we do want to, you have to hang in the right way of Elohim, and when we are battling for that, because our flesh want to go on the other side, to go in these earthly things, what will happen is this is a battle. So, but in your inner person is this is what Elohim has working in us, that it must be something that we have to struggle. We struggle because the other side, our flesh is is in the other side. It's minding what is from the earthly things. So now, when we have this battle in us, this is our nature, Yaakov, the dual entity of Yaakov, which is the evil inclination and the good inclination, the Yetzer Hara and Yetzer Tov. And this Yetzer Tov represent, this is our Esau. It's our Esau character. He is led by the ego. So when you know what is the character of Esau is led by his own ego, comfort zone, and he doesn't want to confront challenges in life. He wants only the easy way. So in Jacob's life, it's not because we have to make an effort, to to please Elohim. We have to make ourselves an effort. In Jacob's life, is he has to make an effort to do the will of Elohim. But and at the same time, the struggle is there because our flesh is in trying to pull us down, that we are mindful of what is earthly things. So supposed to be when we are in the side, as Yaakov give much example for us to learn, because Jacob, that was his faith, the trusting faith, what he has, his hope, hoping for the promises of Elohim, for the coming olam haba. But the ego he has, his flesh, was facing to his brother Esau. So brother Esau is now, he is fear of death. So because of his fear of death, he has this conscience that what has happened to have done to his life before, when he left from the house of his parents. He has this conscience that he knows that this brother will kill him. So he tried to give gifts to Esau to please him, so that the hatred of his brother and the plan of that killing him, come down. He will come down in the mind of his brother. But from that, is just a facade from him, that that is the physical reaction he has to do. But in the spiritual action, what he did is prayer. The prayer is in the side of Imunan. The judgment of Yaakov was he make himself amend himself, or he tried to have reconciliation to his brother by giving gifts, because the weakness of his brother is possession. They like material things. This is why, kung unsay weakness sa iyang brother, which is he love, maoy gi-please niya to give the gifts, so that maano siya ma-cool down iyang kalagot. But from the other side, it's not the point that makes him to save, but he pray unto Elohim. Because the remaining fear of death, that his brother to kill him, because he doesn't know the mind of the brother. The target is to kill him. The brother is very cunning, in hunting. So this is why he knows that the only way he can have refuge for salvation is through Hashem. That is the only way to have a refuge is through Hashem. So this is why with his prayer, with hope, claiming for the promises of Elohim, he gave his life unto Elohim. He trusts Elohim about his life. That was iyang gisubmit na niya, give niya all unto Elohim. So this is why he overcome his flesh. In other words, he overcome the death. Because in the other side, the evil inclination our evil inclination, our ego is prone for, that is in the side of judgment. The side of judgment, the side of death. That is for a death, because we are flesh, and that is not. It doesn't please Elohim, the being fleshy. What Elohim is pleased from Jacob is that is why he's called Israel. He prevailed Elohim. It means because of his prayer and trusting faith unto Elohim. Ang iyahang faith, which is from the side of mercy, and supposed to be in his judgment on the side, he make this faith up. He climb himself spiritually, so that by the refuge is to claim the promises of Elohim, and by that is to overcome our flesh, to overcome the death, the fear of death. That is the point. Jacob was preserved by Elohim because he won in true by the prayers, diba? He won by through the prayers, the trusting faith unto Hashem, what makes him the stabilize the outside, the judgment of Elohim. This same po na sa atong world karon, our world today is but it must be in ourself. This is why if you want to have a how you say that become the world, what's going on now with the plan is it must start in us. It must not. This is exactly what is said that you want to have justice, you have no justice. Only our justice is into the hands of Elohim. Because this is why our mission is to change ourselves. That is the mission. The mission to change ourselves is to let our ego down. And that ego be overtake by our trusting faith in Elohim. Atong pagsalig niya ba, diha na to ihulog, atong refuge niya. This way, it needs our patience. Because ang atong, mao ni atong battle, ang atong ego, ang atong flesh, nga mag-grumble siya nga, di ko, gikapoy na ko. This is really our, mao na siya maghatag og habok sa atong kinabuhi, kay nga impatient siya. Impatient. And he wants always to have iyang ways ba, easy way, our Jacob way. This way in the end times, now we're in the end times, remember, when we are about to enter to the promised land, you have to remind yourself that in the wilderness, Elohim was humble his people, the children of Israel, for what? So that they will, when they humble, ma-elevate man nimo ang Elohim, because He will be the one to lead in our life. Kung mag-humble ta sa atong self, na kaya what happened good na naitabo sa wilderness, our forefather was returning to Egypt, and Egypt represent to Pharaoh's kingdom there. And today the same with the world. There's nothing to go back there, because if the light, the sovereign, the reign of the light is about to come, then it will be a clash. We will have to meet that in ourselves. We will meet that to ourselves to face the muna siya gitawag og purification, gitawag og kanang sifting sa Elohim. I-sift ka sa Elohim. That is what is called, and that especially in the children of Yaakov, because Elohim wants that he want be to be served by his people, that he is the one who lead them, that our choices in life is Hashem, not in our own ways. This is why we need prayer to overcome what is guidance in life, so that we know what we have to do, if you want the will of Elohim, need patience. Because if not, we want just what I want. That is our isav. What I want, our ego, our flesh want that is only lead into, and it's not from the will of Elohim. Then mag-face na punta og kanang trouble. So it's better nga ang Elohim way. The same what happened to the wilderness, that it was been led by the Elohim in all his way. They are led by Elohim, but because they are grumbling of themselves, because they want to go back in their ego is want to remain in Egypt world, in the Pharaoh's kingdom. But it's not. We are facing now the kingdom of Mashiach, the kingdom of Hashem, to be ruled soon in the coming of the return of Yeshua. So we are about with that, and the same what happened to Esav and Jacob. This is what happened to Jacob. This is why in the Jacob's trouble, that is called the Jacob's trouble, Elohim is really correcting, to correct our soul. And the Torah what will correct. This is why the only what we have now is, if you are in the Torah, you are hanging on the Torah to learn, to better yourself, to restore yourself, or if you are still led by your ego, evil inclination, your Isav, then that is the battle there. If you want the easy way, then the only way is mo face tag death. Kay kinahanglan man atong flesh must be submitted to mag-ihad na atong kuan, ang atong flesh ug atong spirit mag-usa na sila, but dominated by the overcomer, who is called Israel, and not Edom, that the one will overtake na. Kay no, is now passing away naman ang world karon. This is why the spirit which is to become Israel is to eliminate the kanang ato ang superiority sa ato ang ego, atong flesh, superiority sa flesh na mo yung nag-lead na to. No, it's the time that the Torah will manifest in our life, and he is the one must dominate in our walk in life, and that is how we reconnect into the ways of Elohim. Because in this world now we are facing for this unbalanced world, so the balance come only from those working in ourselves. We have to know ourselves, how to balance ourselves, because the outside is trying to pull the scale down. What does it mean to scale down? Is bring us to the death, bring us to the grave, because these people are living in really in Esav character. They have in the Esav character, because they only know themselves. They have no emotion, they have no conscience. They only care what is earthly. So to the scale is, if you drawn by this other side, then it's a death. That's the death. So to overcome the death before Mashiach come, because when we wish to be in his this elevation, not call it rapture. Some other call it rapture, but it's not a rapture. It is a become highly spiritually. You are in Mashiach. You're emitting more and more in the image of Yeshua. This is why the death, the cloth of the physical body, the death will be swallowed when the Torah in our life will manifest, and He is the one who dominates in our life. And this is also the picture of Jacob's who took the blessing from Esau, because this is a picture of the Yeshua gave example that he swallowed the death. He swallowed the because life is in Yeshua HaMashiach. He is the represent of Jacob that swallowed the death. That is the picture of that. If the death is swallowed, then the restoration come and you become this is what they call the incorruptible body. The teaching of Shalom. Shalom, shalom.